I have been asked, and I feel I'm duty bound to make a comment about the OCS who said that when police are being recruited, instead of recruiting the 30% women, they should recruit 20% and increase the number of male. It is very good for somebody to speak his mind. I know he will not be victimized. I know he did a very good thing. And that is why you'll find, if you look at the way the Inspector General reacted, and then you also look at the way Murkomen reacted. Murkomen's activities as the Minister of Internal Security has not been pleasing to me. But on this, I was impressed. I was impressed. These are things that are supposed to be talked behind doors. But the problem with social media is that we have the good side of social media and the bad side of social media. So these are the things which are not supposed to be spoken. But they have been spoken. So there is no otherwise. All we need to do is we have to agree. We have to agree with what is happening, and we now have to talk about it. It is something. Okay, I will tell you something. I have a son. Let me give you an example. I have a son, firstborn. Sorry to laugh. I have a son, firstborn, and when he was 3 months old, a family member on his mother's side claimed to be the biological father. It is only recently that the mother talked to the boy and told the boy that it is true I had an incestuous relationship with your uncle, but you biologically are JI-TENGE's son. Anyway, I just want to say that I gave that example as an example of a case where some things are not supposed to be spoken openly, but they are being spoken openly. In my case, the case I've just said, and even in this case, these are some of the things which should not have been spoken in public. These are things that are supposed to have been in 2 cases, and in other cases that we know. These are cases where somebody is supposed to be handled behind the curtain. I've grown up. I remember my father, as I was growing up, he would tell me, do you see my stepbrother so and so? Yeah, look at one of his sons, ABCD. Uh, that is not so. That uncle of mine died, and my father died, and so even the cousin who is supposed not to be my cousin died. But then some things are just supposed to be talked behind the scene. They are not even supposed to be like this case of mine, and even this case that we are now talking about. But then it has been said, so let us talk it. It has been said. It is now in public domain. My case is in public domain. The case of the case the OCS has said is in public domain, thanks to social media, and so we'll talk about it. But first and foremost, viewers' discretion is advised. I usually don't say that. I don't think there is anything that I've ever talked which I would rather not. I mean, I usually avoid recording things which are viewers' discretion is advised. But this one I love to say because of the seriousness of the thing, and the OCS must be congratulated for bringing out in the open issues that have been taken centuries to. It has taken centuries to be discussed, but it has never been said. In all these cases, I would say that we blame the people who are supposed to take action, including my case. If that thing would have been handled, if that thing would have been handled a long time ago, if that thing would have been handled a long time ago, uh, many decades ago, it would not have even come out in the open. Just like my cousin, whom my father would whisper that is not my stepbrother's son. They knew how to handle it, and my uncle died, my father died, my cousin died. So even today, the topic cannot be discussed. But this thing of not handling issues when they are there, it brings a problem. Even right now, it is a bit late, but not very late. We have to consider the fact that this is a particular case. No, we have to consider that this particular case has been there for decades. So the OCS must be thanked for exposing it. The OCS must be thanked for exposing it. I do not know if women cops do discuss it. I don't know. I don't know whether they do discuss it. But male cops have been talking about it for decades in the absence of police women. There are so many cases, even right now when I'm no longer in service, there are challenges that policemen face while working with police women that even when I was a police constable, we used to discuss it, but I don't remember even one occasion when we could discuss it when police women were there. So I don't know whether police women in all those years, they have discussed these things, these challenges when they are alone. When they are alone. You know, women to women, when they discuss some issues, usually they are freer, isn't it? And even men to men. When it is mixed, police women and policemen, even I'm not aware of any time when such a discussion has been made. I'm not aware of any such discussion having made where both policemen and policewomen were present. I'm not aware. But now that the OCS brought it up, and you'll see even those people who talked, even those people who talked after him, you can see even those who were purporting to attack him were also to some extent explaining it. Let me give an example. There is Madam Mheshimiwa, the MP. She said that her security is composed of two women. Now, she doesn't have police men as her security. So you can understand that what the OCS said, and it would bring in more topics. And there was a chief inspector from AP who said, lady chief inspector, who said that yes, what the OCS had said was true, but then the other work, I'll come to that, that all police women can do, of which policemen cannot do. So what I'm saying here is, I'm loving the story. I'm liking the story that it is coming out, because we have challenges in the police where a policeman cannot, even if he tried, he cannot handle it. And there are challenges that a policewoman, even if she tried, she cannot handle it. So it is good that I recommend the OCS be given OGW, Order of the Grand Warrior. He's a Grand Warrior. For that, so that we now have a discussion. Now that it is in open, in police timams and all, and lectures and whatever, I would want those things to be now discussed so that a solution is found that takes care of the gender uniqueness, as it has been said, and I will also say there are some things that a policeman cannot do. Police work that a policeman cannot do. And there are police work that a policewoman cannot do. Why can't we identify the two circumstances and appreciate them to the betterness of the country without going against the constitution? Yes, the constitution says that police women, no, not police women, but one gender should not be less than 30. I don't see anything even wrong with, especially police, having it going to 40%. Police, I'm not talking of other profession, police. I don't see any problem. So long as we identify the uniqueness of the gender issue, and then you are taken to, as I'll talk later, you'll find that there are some things that a man cannot do. So why can't we pump women to be many there? Because in the constitution does not say that a policewoman should do every work that a policeman should do, or vice versa. No. But then those in authority can identify jobs. They can identify jobs and duties that only police women, not only a bit, or even like what the OCS said, that when there was Mandamano, he said all girls should go to the police station. So they went to the report office, they went to cell sentry, they went to all those things. That did not mean reducing the number of. So if we discuss that openly, then we can find a solution. Remember, irrespective of whether you are a man or a woman, let me take my example. My sister, I have sisters, but let me talk of a sister. She has the same male relatives as I have, isn't it? And I have the same number of female relatives as my sister has, isn't it? You could find somebody, a lady, saying that I have 4 sisters and 4 brothers. Now, one of her brothers would also say, I have 4 sisters and 4 brothers. So when we come to some issues, that are gender sensitive. For example, there is a shooting incident, and a policewoman is married to a civilian man. At night, there is an alarm. People are supposed to go. These are things that I said it is good to have a viewer discretion. You know, it is a bit of a challenge for the OCS to go and call a police constable. During our time, police officers used to stay within quarters, isn't it? Now, waking a lady, telling her she should go and get a gun and go to such a place. It is easier to tell a man in the hearing of his wife that quickly, there is an alarm at 3 a.m. somewhere. But it is not as easy. It is easier said than done when you confront a policewoman whose husband is a civilian. Sometimes OCS would bypass that house. He knows that this house belongs to a policewoman who is married to a civilian man, and just do that. So those are things that are there. With the due respect, let us just agree that there are those things. And now that OGW has said it, let it be covered by the relevant people. I think it was good. It is good to have to look like that. Then we could also say there are challenges for male cops to accommodate. For example, you know, we don't have, if a child is lost, and a child is recovered, a baby or something. Okay, let us not talk of a baby. Let us talk of a child who is grade 1 or grade 2. That child is lost. Where do you take that child first? You take that child to the police station. The police station will organize with the Ministry of Children, isn't it? But as the child is going to, they are going to look for the parents and guardians. Meanwhile, there is only one place that the child is taken. Child is taken to the police cells. Yes, the child would be placed in a cell that has no adults or something like that. But imagine being placed in the cells. Some police station even just behind the report of the child stays there. That is bad. This is when police women come in. A police woman, because there is no risk of the child escaping. You find that a police woman takes care of that child, and other police officers, especially male, they contribute from their pockets a few coins and give it to the policewoman to assist her to buy food for this child. So you see, it will be a challenge for a policeman, especially if this recovered child who is in grade 2 is a girl. You want to tell me that a policeman, unless the policeman has a wife, unless a policeman has a wife, it would be impossible to even imagine that that small girl will be placed in under his care. So there are those things that, like the police, the AP chief inspector said that yes, police women vomit during tear gas. I'll come to that. But then there are other duties that police women can do that policemen cannot do, like that one of a recovered child. The OCS was right and civil in saying that women cops vomit during riots. I know young men will start laughing and making jokes about it, but remember, during riots, the policewoman may be pregnant. The policewoman may be pregnant. Now, there is nowhere it is written that tear gas, when it is thrown, it will go in one direction. There are times when even, we were taught that when there is a riotous move, you look at the direction of the wind, and then you throw the tear gas in at a place where the wind will now direct it to that people. But after throwing, the wind can change. The wind can change, and instead of going towards the riotous mob, it goes towards the police. And among the police, we have police women who may be pregnant. The tear gas will give them a hard time. And even before they started, previously during my time, police women used to have skirts. They used to have skirts. And so I'm careful with what I say. I'm very careful with what I say. I'm trying to say that when tear gas is being thrown and it changes direction, a policewoman in a skirt will have challenges, biological challenges, more than a policewoman in trousers. So you find that nowadays, when there is a demonstration, policewomen put on long trousers. I would advise, I don't know, but maybe it is happening. I would also advise police women who are going to a riot scene also to put on more clothes, especially trousers. Uh, if she's putting on a jungle trouser, maybe she has a civilian trouser in it. And as I've just said, that tear gas may affect her biologically. She should also have more clothes such as bikers, several bikers, and I don't. I would also not mind if they also put on adult diapers. Biologically, they are challenged in such a situation where tear gas is being thrown. Nowadays, they put on trousers. It is not like during my time when they used to put on skirts unless she's caught unaware. But in many cases, they have time to change into trousers. And I don't check them. Maybe they also put on bikers and whatever. But even after putting on bikers, I would recommend that they also put on adult pampers to avoid biological reaction to tear gas. My viewer has to forgive me. That is the easiest way I could say those serious things. In a riotous place, it is possible for an injured person or even a person killed to be carried away sifuavakanili. The way you saw a certain person who was being carried during a riot. You see, that person was already dead. That is why we got annoyed with the way he was being carried. But then, if someone is not yet dead, or if somebody may be dead, but the police officers uh, are not sure whether that person is dead or anything, they are rushing that person to an ambulance or even to a hospital. You'll find that carrying a heavily injured lady, especially if it is a man who is carrying a heavily injured lady, it becomes a bit of a challenge. For those of you who have learned rescue, we have there is a rescue that is called fireman's rescue, and you'll find that fireman's rescue, a fireman when rescuing a woman carries the woman in a different way than the way he would carry a man. And you see, naturally women are heavier than men. So carrying somebody who is heavier than you, if it is a man carrying a fellow man, he'll just carry him sifuavakanili so as to, it is better for the person to be carried sifuavakanili and anapona, other than carrying the way you are supposed to carry and he dies on the way. But you see, when you are carrying an injured woman, there is decency. There is decency. If you have ever known, or if you have never undertaken a fireman's course, then I would request you to Google fireman's carrying an injured person. You'll see how a fireman carries a man and how a fireman carries a woman. These are the things that have been there, and OGW made it possible because there are those challenges, and you see the challenges. You are not supposed to. You are not, especially if you work in a disciplined services. You are not supposed to. You are not supposed to talk about it because uh, you are in a disciplined force. So you find that if a fireman is taught how to carry an injured man and an injured woman, they are carried differently because of gender sensitive. Those are the things that OGW definitely was talking about. We also saw the uproar. We saw also the uproar when the policewoman who was attacked by mob in the CBD. We also saw the police. There was a time when the mob overpowered the police and the police took off. In such a situation, having been a police officer, having been a policeman, we usually had challenges because when you are going out, and there is such a thing, if it were men only, policemen only, kikiumana, you all take off. But if you are a policeman and you have a policewoman accompanying you, you have to be very careful about her because taking off, and I'm very sure even those policemen who were with this gracious lady, I'm sure they were even challenged that how dare you left your sister at the mercy of the mob. So there are those challenges that do come with the police women when they are walking out. Uh, that is what I was saying, that it brings a challenge. There is also the challenge of night patrol. Night patrol, you find that the night patrol are called beats, night beat. Now, when you're having a night patrol, or even you're patrolling in such a place where vichochoro, they are called in Kiswahili vichochoro. When you're patrolling such a place, you find that two police officers work together. But then it becomes a challenge if the two are both police women, or one is a policewoman and another one is a policeman. Remember, this is a woman, and out there we have former KDF and we have former police service. Uh, if two police officers, if two policemen are attacked and have to flee, they take the quickest way out. But a policeman on patrol with a policewoman during the time of withdrawal, an emergency withdrawal, the policeman has to mind about the policewoman. And I know of some cases where a place where it's supposed to be patrolled by two police officers, in case there is a woman, then it is three, so that the two police officers, we having a withdrawal while also taking care of a colleague, a lady colleague, is easier if there are two policemen and one policewoman. So these are challenges that no constitution, no education can amend that. It is something that it is there and it will always be there, and we have to look at it, because as I said, the number of male relatives I have is the same number of male relatives that my sister has. And the number of female relatives that I have is the same number of female relatives that my sister has. And in case of any policewoman, even dying in the line of duty, uh, her relatives, half of the people who will be mourning will be women, and half of the people will be mourning will be men. So this is not a case where one just says that this is a woman affair, this is a, if it is a woman, and then it becomes even more painful for to lose a policewoman, because when you go to an operation, you are going to an operation, a father of a 2-year child, and she is going to an operation, a mother of a 2-year child. Now, if both of you are killed, uh, you know what I mean. This child being brought up, apart from financial and maybe some moral support, especially to the boy child, I would rather a child who is a few months old or a few years old. If one of the parents has to die, then it is better for the father to die. Uh, being brought up by a single mother is better than being brought up by a single father. So that is how we have to say that. And suppose when there are people who kidnap police officers everywhere in the world, but in the case of a cop being kidnapped, don't you think that a policewoman may face more challenges? More challenges. Imagine bandits surrounding us men, or even surrounding me and kidnapping me and keeping me in confinement for even a week. Can you guess how it would feel if it was a policewoman who had undergone that? So these are genuine appreciation that we should bear in mind. And as I said, OGW should be granted to that OCS, because he has said what has been said behind locked doors. I appreciate the lady Chief Inspector AP, who said that there are certain challenges that only police women can do and not policemen. I have given an example of a lost and found child who is a girl. Okay, who is especially a girl. It would be easy, even if it is a boy, you'd find that the OCS would just request a policewoman to take care of that child, and they have done it very, very well. They have done it very well, and that is what the Chief Inspector AP was saying, that there are some things that only police, even if they are vomiting, there are some jobs which only police women. Let us appreciate each other in our diversity. I also appreciate Murkomen's statement that the OCS should link his observation with Mukogodo Forest. Uh, Mukogodo Forest is an endurance camp that all cadet inspectors, male or female, go through. I think before the minister talked, he must have been briefed. Or being a minister for internal affairs, you know a lot of things. Mukogodo Forest, where Ole Kaparo comes from, is a forest that is there for endurance. So, for those of you, even people in the KDF may not have understood, what he was saying is that he was passing a coded message to the OCS that when it comes to jobs that kimeumana, then women are not taken to. He only gave Mukogodo as an example because but for you to be an inspector, even if you are a woman, you have to go through Mugogodo for the endurance course. So what Murkomen was trying to tell the OCS, was trying to remind, because he knew the OCS knew, he was trying to remind the OCS that when it comes to such work, uh, even the riots, the Sabat, whatever, I believe very few women were taken there. And when women were being taken there, it is a case where you have taken there all the men, all the men, and you still need more. So you are forced by circumstances. Uh, and I liked the way the things was discussed. And I have to congratulate everybody who participated in the talks, uh, which, to my understanding, will assist in future endeavors. We can say that cases like Garissa University, Westgate issue, Dusit too, you remember Dusit too? Such issues, if you can recall, police women rarely do handle that. And if they are there, they are usually handled to go and handle. You know, in a place like Garissa University, Westgate, Dusit too, and etc., we have we have what we call female victims. And female victims are better handled by female police officers. Especially in a place like, let's take a case like Garissa University. Garissa University, those are places where religion, such as Muslim, uh, are very strict in certain issues. So in a case like Garissa University, a lady who is injured, if a policeman carries her Sifwabakanili and rushes her to the Provincial General Hospital, some people with the religious feelings may feel disturbed. But if police women are near, such injured people are taken to the police women, who take them to the hospital. And when it comes to things such as first aid and evacuation of injured people, police women are as good as policemen. And if there is any police officer, be it a man or a woman, who is better than the other, it is just because of his or her capability, but not because of his or her gender. But then you find that when there are cases like those I've mentioned, it becomes better and easier if it is handled by a policewoman, because a Somali policewoman, not a Somali civilian who has been injured in Garissa, being carried quickly by a policeman may bring a lot of concern. But if a police, so you find in such a places like terrorist attack, police women are taken there to take care of female victims. In my opinion, such issues should be talked most. As I said, men talk on their own, women talk on their. I don't know whether women talk on their own of those challenges, but men, in many cases, when they are in a police canteen where there are no police women, they usually talk of such challenges. I would request that that topic we cease talking them in public, because some of these things are. It's as I started, I said viewers' discretion should be there. So I think Murkomen and the government, plus the Inspector General, should take it as a wake-up call and address those issues to their conclusion. I would also want these talks not to be overt. Yeah, that's what I say. I don't want them to be open due to the natural being of human being. Uh, I forced myself to talk about this because some of these things, if you have seen my videos, I avoid such talkings. I avoid such topics which are for viewers' discretion. But this one, I've been forced to talk about it, and so I would say that let it not be the Ruto way or the government way. You see, Murkomen, I don't know what you talked with other police officers in other places and whatever, and I don't know what to, so I do not have an opinion about that. But when it comes to this issue that was talked about by this OCS, kindly address it and address it to the fullest end.